I am so grateful to be here with you to help you own your holidays and thrive through what might be some stressful times. And we have a special guest here to share your tips and tricks. It is the owner and creator of Greatness You, Gina Mollicone-Long, who is one of the top NLP practitioners in North America, an incredible author and philosopher, and she says golden doodle lover. So we're so grateful to have you here. We're going to share tips to help people own it, and we're welcome to have you back. You were on the Own It show with us, so if you haven't checked out the episode on how to own your peak performance from season 2 with Gina, it is exceptional. That is a must, so make sure you check that out. And we've got her back for some special tips today, so thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you. It was just, it's so great to be back, and I love the energy. And we were just talking about that podcast, so let's build on it because the holidays are coming. And
we're here.
Yeah, it can be stressful for people. You know, we were talking about this earlier. It can be stressful because they've got a lot to do, or they've got a lot of things to go to, or they're hosting, or they have to spend time with people they don't always spend time with. You know, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family, kind of thing. So we do a lot of state control around the holidays, right? So, you know, it happens to the best of us. If you're in a poor state, and by state, I mean emotional state, but I don't just mean your emotions. I mean your whole mind, body. If you're in a poor state, then even the slightest thing can set you off, right? So the antidote to that is to be in control. Realize, you know what, you even have to back up and realize that you have some control here, and you can reclaim your power even in the moment where you feel really powerless. You know, something went wrong. I mean, things are going to go wrong. The wrong gift is going to show up, or the thing's going to burn, or you're going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person, or vice versa, right? That's going to happen. Or your golden doodle is going to eat the entire wheel of brie before it gets served to anybody. Stuff like this. It happens. So, you know, first thing you need to realize, and Eleanor Roosevelt said something that I want to adapt. So she said, no one can make you feel anything without your consent. And I like to adapt that to say, no one can take your power without your consent. So, you know, all of the great thought leaders, spiritual leaders, Buddha, Gandhi, Jesus, whatever, they all said something to the effect of, no one can take your power, but if you don't take it, you give it away. You kind of like, you donate it, if you will. So the first thing you have to realize is, in any moment, you have the power to choose. That's very important. What do you choose, right? Well, here's a tip. If we can do a little holiday tip that would help you in sort of 2 instances. One is in that moment where where something happens and you get knocked off center. It's just, you were thinking everything was good and you got knocked off center. The technique is really beneficial in that instance. And then it's also beneficial if you take it to a place of real proactive choice, i.e. set your day, get set with it. So it sort of it's like a really multi-purpose technique. It's kind of like a sale, perfect this time of year. So one technique for 2 different situations.
Sets you up for success and also helps you manage anything that comes your way.
Yeah, there's so much coming at us, right? That people get knocked off center a lot. Mainstream media, social media, like virtue signaling, right? Angry people, bad drivers, politicians, family members, burnt, whatever, it's a lot. And so what I'd like to do is to teach people a technique that will help them sidestep their negative emotions, stay in a positive state regardless of the circumstances, and just be able to choose to be powerful in the middle of chaos. So should we learn it?
Yeah, dive in. That's so powerful. And when we can own our own power, regardless of the current circumstances or past circumstances or other people's behavior, life can be so much more joyful and we can feel so much more powerful and empowered. And as Gina was saying, about not giving our power away. It's about claiming it. So I'm looking forward to your tips.
Okay, so this is a technique I'm going to borrow from the Institute of Heart Math. So you mentioned that I was into NLP. I'm a master trainer of NLP, timeline therapy, but this particular technique comes to us from Heart Math. So I'm a trainer of Heart Math, and this is a very simple technique called heart-focused breathing. Now, whenever you were in a stressful situation as a kid, you were fighting with your cousins, because we were talking about your cousins, your grandmother would come and break you up. She would always tell you to stop and take a what?
Breath.
Yes. She would say, take a deep breath and everybody go count to
10.
10, right? Every grandmother, every culture. I have done talks on 6 continents, 7th on my bucket list. And every grandmother in every culture says essentially the same thing, right? Stop and take a deep breath, count to 10. So we borrow from that in this technique. So basically, the first thing you want to realize is breath is one of the fastest ways to change your state, your mind-body state. Because when you bring consciousness to a technique that is usually something you don't think much about, then there's real power in that. So when you slow down and just breathe slower and deeper than normal, right? That in and of itself is going to be beneficial, but let's amp it up a bit so that you can actually get yourself into a powerful state. So you want to breathe slower than deeper than normal. You want to focus or imagine, if you will, visualize breathing in the area around your heart. I know that sounds crazy because we breathe with our mouth and our nose, but if you close your eyes and you imagine taking a deep breath through your heart, you can visualize the area around your heart. So that what that's going to do is it's going to take you out of your head and drop you into your heart. Okay. So now we're breathing slower and deeper than normal, focusing on the area around the heart. And the icing on the cake here is to evoke, really activate a feeling of gratitude or appreciation for someone or something in your life. Now, people will say to me, so I'll just think about what I'm grateful for. Not quite. You really want to evoke the emotion. You want to actually have it be embodied. So I do have a little NLP hack for accessing that emotion. So this isn't really part of Heart Math's technique. The technique for Heart Math is breathe slower and deeper than normal, focus on the area around your heart, and activate a feeling of appreciation or gratitude. Do that for about 100 seconds, and you'll halt any sort of stress response, and you'll be able to gather back your power. You'll be back in a state of coherence. So it doesn't take very long. But people have trouble accessing gratitude in an embodied way. So I'm going to borrow a little NLP hack here, right? Just to give you an idea of how much this stuff crosses over. So here's how you access an emotion. So you think of a time, a specific time when you were grateful. So can you think of a specific time where you were just brimming with gratitude?
Last week, I taught my first customized corporate workshop, and I've never, just the amount of gratitude for the people that were there, and they loved it. And I was so proud of myself, and I was so grateful everybody loved it. So
okay,
grateful.
Good. So get that point in time, go back to that time right now, float down into your body at that time, looking through your own eyes, see what you saw, hear what you heard, and really identify that feeling of gratitude. Notice where it is in your body. Notice how you can make it stronger by focusing on it. Notice how this brings the emotion into now. So that's a way to access the emotion now from then. So you need a specific memory. And what you do is you go back to that time, drop into your body, right into the scene, right? See what you saw, hear what you heard, and then really feel the feeling of gratitude. And what I have my clients and students do is I have them observe it. Where is it? How strong is it? Is it growing? Try to observe its qualities, and that will cause the emotion to become embodied. If you activate that feeling while you're breathing slower and deeper than normal, focusing on the area around your heart, what you'll do is you'll create a synchronicity between your heart and your brain. And the technical term is a state of coherence. And what that means is you're just a better version of yourself. You have more power at that time. So when you're in a state of coherence, you have more power, then you'll make better choices to respond. So this is the difference between reacting during the holidays and responding. And responsibility means your ability to respond. So what you want to do is you want to be responsible, able to respond to any situation. And this technique in the data shows takes about 100 seconds to halt a stress response.
In a current state, and switch that current state.
And switch that back into coherence. And then the real gold here, though, is the holidays are going to be stressful. So you wake up in the morning, not expecting things to go wrong, but just knowing there's more going on. People are tense. So there's more stress. There's more entropy. We would call it in my previous life as a scientist. There's more entropy. So 15 minutes spent doing this practice before your day starts will put you deliberately in a state of coherence. So it will make you more resilient right out of the gate. 15 minutes in the morning will set the tone for the day, right? And then you use it as an acute situation pops up, you use it to bring yourself back. And then again, just so you know, the data shows if you do that 15 minutes every day for about 3 months, you will increase your baseline resilience. So it's a very, very powerful technique.
I love that. As a community right now, just to help everyone with all that is going on and to embrace the holidays and the changes and the new year and release this, we're doing a 2-week challenge of 15 minutes of mindfulness in our community. So I want to invite everyone to come and join us. Do it on your own. It could be silence and breathing. And I always like to say, if you're having a hard time getting into the gratitude, you can go a couple layers deep. Like, why are you grateful? I'm grateful because somebody said that's the best workshop they've had in 10 years. And I was like, oh, wow. And why are you grateful for that? Because that means I had a positive impact and she was able to use the information in her life and her business. And why am I grateful for that? Because that means what I'm doing works. And just being able to go a little bit deeper even helps with that coherence and that state shift. And I just find that some people, they have the harder time embodying it. So doing some layers of like, why are you grateful for that? And that really helps us truly own that state, take our power back. And who doesn't want to be more resilient, right?
I mean, during the holidays and you know, I the one last thing I wanted to do, because the holidays are coming up, and a amazing thing anybody could do really is they're going to be setting New Year's goals and New Year's resolutions and changing patterns. And the biggest force you have to overcome is inertia. So we're giving away our 7-day, our greatness week right now. It's a 7-day challenge of 7 different techniques like that one. In fact, I think that's one of the techniques that help you break the pattern into the new pattern for the new year to get your momentum going. And we're giving it away for free right now. It's Greatness U, the letter, greatnessu.com/greatness. Or no, that's not true.
Greatnessu.com/challenge.
Sorry, I got greatness all over my mind. greatnessu.com/challenge. And it's free right now. We're just giving it away for the holidays. And we're hoping everybody will use it as they blast into 2023 and, you know, take it to the next level.
And so I want everyone to imagine it's like to break our current state. Sometimes it feels like we're pushing a boulder. Gina is giving you a lever to heave that boulder out of the way, switch your state, and kick yourself into momentum to finish this year owning it and to kick off next year in the right state and to put yourself in a place of empowerment to enjoy the holidays. So I want you to go and grab that now. Check it out. Greatnessu, the letter u.com/challenge. And thank you, Gina. You are such a wealth of knowledge. You guys have no idea how much this lady knows, the impact she's making in this world, and who she is. So thank you so, so much for being here. And everyone, make sure you go and grab that. Make sure you check out our podcast episode on the Own It Show podcast on Apple and YouTube. And thank you, Gina, so much for being with us. We're so grateful for you and all you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, and happy holidays to everybody. And be powerful during these holidays.
Yes, be powerful, own it, and thank you. Expect magic and miracles. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy, and what is the best that can happen?